Hello, Internet. My name is Trailer Drake. I am heavily under the influence of alcohol, and I am here to try to make sense of the Kingdom Hearts timeline. So, let's begin, shall we? We start our journey all the way back with Kingdom Hearts Chai. It doesn't fucking matter. What's important is that it's just an X. This takes place way before even the first game in the main timeline, but this is okay, so I don't have a pen or anything, but right in between here is this big thing called the Keyblade War. So we'll just erase there and the erase bit. That's the Keyblade War. And all these Keyblade bearers, they fight. It's a big old fucking thing, and that's where this game takes place. They have disputes over the X-Blade or the Cross-Blade. Basically, it's three Keyblades mixed together. It's a giant convoluted mess. But we're not really going to focus on this so much because it's not really that important. The first game in the main timeline is BBS, Birth by Sleep. Now, what's interesting about Birth by Sleep is there's actually three separate storylines in this game because it follows three different characters. You have Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. Now, the big thing is that I would say, arguably, that Terra and Aqua are the main characters since they're the most adult. And they are Keyblade trainees who are battling it out to become Keyblade Masters. And during the special super exam to graduate to the next level, only Aqua is a Keyblade Master. And Terra does not like that. Now, overseeing the exam are two people. This guy I don't remember the name of, and Xehanort. Now, Xehanort is very important, but for the sake of explaining all of this, we're going to call him Baldemort, because he's bald. So, here's what you got to realize. Guy I don't remember the name of, main guy, he's a Keyblade Master of Light, and Baldemort is secretly a bad guy. Dark Keyblade Master. Ooh. He tempts Terra into going over to the dark side. Ooh. And then Terra is trying to save him, and Ventus is doing his own fucking thing. Yeah. Now, what you probably realized, Ventus looks quite a bit like Roxas. And I'll explain that in a bit. So, Baldemort's also trying to get this Crossblade, X-Blade thing. And so he uses, Ventus's soul or something to, make an evil version of Ventus by fracturing his heart. But when Ventus's heart is fractured, he reaches out in the heart ether, and he reaches out to this young boy named Sora. And so basically Ventus now has part of Sora's heart, and part of Sora's heart is Ventus's heart. And this is why Roxas looks like Ventus in the future. We're getting way too ahead of ourselves here. But regardless, Terra and Aqua meet these kids, Sora and Riku, and they kind of pass along the ability to be Keyblade Masters, or Keyblade Bearers in this case. But regardless, Terra gets corrupted by the dark side, by Baldemort, and Baldemort uses this to transfer his entire essence into Terra. Basically, his hair turns white, and he becomes what's known as Terra Xehanort. This is already getting really confusing, so please try to bear with me. Aqua somehow manages to defeat Terra Xehanort, causing Terra Xehanort to lose his memory, and Terra Xehanort just goes by Xehanort from this point on. Okay? Try to keep that in mind. And then Aqua turns her homeworld into Castle Oblivion. We'll get to that at some point later down the road. Birth by Sleep is just there to kind of be not only a prequel, but just to have plot threads that go throughout the entire fucking Kingdom Hearts thing. I digress. Terra Xehanort now no longer has his memories, and he just goes by Xehanort until he's picked up by this guy named Ansem. Ansem the Wise, specifically. Ansem the Wise, he's a researcher of the Heartless and things like that. They're the big bad guys of the entire Kingdom Hearts thing. And he takes on Xehanort as an apprentice, and he has all these other apprentices too. So, unbeknownst to Ansem the Wise, all of the apprentices and research assistants, they experiment on themselves and they end up becoming Heartlesses. But, this is very important. Whenever a person has a very strong body and they become a Heartless, their husk without the heart becomes its own being called a nobody. And the nobodies of all of Ansem the Wise's assistants and apprentices becomes this thing called Organization 13. And so, Xehanort ends up becoming two people. His Heartless becomes who is known as Ansem Seeker of Darkness. He's the main bad guy of Kingdom Hearts 1. And then his nobody is Xemnas, the bad guy of Kingdom Hearts 2. So now, Xehanort, no longer a thing. He's Ansem Seeker of Darkness, Xemnas. Very important stuff. Okay, that finally brings us to Kingdom Hearts 1. In Kingdom Hearts 1, there's this kid named Sora, and he is just on this place, Destiny Islands, with his buddies, Riku and Kairi. And they want to explore the whole multiverse. They want to explore all the different planets, about Disney things and Final Fantasy things, because Disney Final Fantasy crossover. Until Big Bad Thing destroys their island, and it goes after Riku, who's going to be the Kingdom Hearts Keyblade bearer, but he's all tempted by darkness, so it instead goes to Sora. And Sora is now the Keyblade Master, and it's his job to save the day, and find Riku, and find Kairi, and defeat Ansem, and all that stuff. And that's where you get Kingdom Hearts 1. Which is fine. So, during Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora ends up turning into a Heartless. And this is a problem because Sora has a very powerful body. And so, his body left over becomes a nobody named Roxas. Roxas is Sora's nobody, who then joins Organization 13, established by Xehanort's nobody, Xemnas. Okay? Okay? But Sora ends up being cured of being a Heartless by Kairi. And he goes back to normal, but Roxas is still a thing. Okay? Listen, the important thing is that Sora is not the protagonist. Well, he's a protagonist of the Kingdom Hearts series, but he's not the focus of the Kingdom Hearts series. The entire Kingdom Hearts series is actually a story about Xehanort, from birth by sleep all the way on to the end. This is his story. Sora's just there to kind of be, I guess, the antagonist of Xehanort's story? But I digress. Sora is able to defeat Ansem Seeker of Darkness, who is the Heartless of Xehanort. That leads us into Chain of Memories. Basically, Chain of Memories was originally made for the Game Boy Advance as an excuse to make Kingdom Hearts 1 all over again. They go into Castle Oblivion, which, as you know, was actually the homeworld of Terra and Aqua, turned into this by Aqua, and it's run by Organization 13. And as Sora goes through Castle Oblivion, people start to forget who Sora is, and his memories just, their memories of him and his memories of everything else, they go out the window, okay, just completely gone, because of this chick, Naminé. Naminé is the nobody of Kairi, Sora's friend, because why not? Of course she needs a nobody as well. Sure, okay. And basically Sora more or less goes through the plots of Kingdom Hearts 1 all over again, ends up saving the day. He's there looking for Riku, who's now a good guy apparently. Also, Mickey Mouse is there. Mickey Mouse has a dark Keyblade. And he's wearing a very edgy middle schooler's weeaboo cloak of darkness. Sure. So, while that's all happening, Roxas is introduced into Organization 13. That's where we get this game called 358 over 2 days. Or 358 by 2 days. This is all about Roxas joining the organization, Organization 13. They make a clone of Sora, the organization, named Xion, Zion, or whatever the fuck you want to say, who looks like Kairi, and also has the ability to use a Keyblade because it's a clone of Sora. But then as Xion, Zion starts to devolve, she starts to look more and more like regular Sora. Roxas absorbs Xion, Zion, and is able to use 2 Keyblades now. Because that's super cool, because dual wielding's a fucking amazing thing. This is important, I think. At the end of it all, it doesn't fucking matter why. He ends up going into a virtual version of this place called Twilight Town, made by this guy named Diz, who is the original Ansem the Wise under a brand new costume. Because video games. So, at the end of Chain of Memories, Sora goes into this incubation chamber, and Naminé reconstructs everyone's memories of Sora and Sora's memories of everyone else, and that's fine. Now we're finally at Kingdom Hearts 2. All of this nonsense, we're finally at the second fucking game. Kingdom Hearts 2. Sora is out of the incubation chamber. Roxas gets out of Twilight Town. They fight the Organization 13, or at least the rest of it, because there were some Organization members in Chain of Memories. The rest of them are in Kingdom Hearts 2. Okay? Sora fights the rest of them. It's great. Sora and Roxas fight. Sora reabsorbs Roxas into himself, so now Sora is complete again. But Sora has his own Keyblade, he has Roxas's Keyblade, and he has Shion Zion's Keyblade. So now Sora can use 3 Keyblades like he's Zoro from One Piece. Sure. Kingdom Hearts 2 is a giant fucking mess, and it's amazing, and I love it so much. It's an amazing game, but it's completely fucking terrible, even though I love it so much. It's more of the same. It's more going about the Disney worlds, and it's going around the Final Fantasies and all that stuff, and it's good. He fights Xemnas, takes down Organization 13, everything is great. Remember, Xemnas, the leader of Organization 13, is Xehanort's nobody. Now, that brings us to Coded. Coded is an excuse to make Kingdom Hearts 1 again. Because Chain of Memories was basically a remake of Kingdom Hearts 1, Coded is now another remake of Kingdom Hearts 1 for the most part. Jiminy Cricket has been along for the entire journey, logging all of Sora's escapades. And he made a digital version of his entire journal notebook thing. Now, what's important to know is that Jiminy Cricket's journal is all fucked up now. And so you have to go into... Oh, I spilled alcohol all over myself. Ew. You have to go into a virtual world of Jiminy Cricket's journal to figure out what the fuck happened. Nobody likes Coded. It's nobody's favorite game, so we're just gonna erase it and move the fuck on. That brings us to Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. You see, it's funny because Dream Drop Distance, 3 words of the letter D in it. For the 3DS, it's 3D. Everybody can use the Keyblade now. Axel, one of the members of the Organization 13 who became a good guy, he can use the Keyblade, Kairi can use the Keyblade, Ryu can use the Keyblade, Mickey has the Keyblade, Sora has the Keyblade, everybody has a fucking Keyblade now. Why not? Dream Drop Distance has Sora and Riku becoming Keyblade Master, doing their whole Mark of Mastery thing. And there's an old new bad guy, they're called the Unversed, and who gives a shit. It's revealed that Organization 13's true purpose is for Xehanort, Xemnas, whoever the fuck it is, to go back through time and get every version of Xehanort, whoever existed, to have 13 versions of Xehanort, to be one giant Organization 13 of 13 Xehanorts. Yep. It's so fucking ridiculous that at one point, Sora confronts this guy Xigbar, one of the Organization members, telling him, bro, you do realize you're just going to turn into another Xehanort. And he's like,
I'm already half Xehanort.
That's nuts.
I'm already half Xehanort. He's Xehanort, he's Xehanort, he's Xehanort, I'm fucking Xehanort at this point. Everybody is fucking Xehanort, and it's goddamn confusing. But they were going to use Sora as a vessel of Xehanort too, until he's saved by Riku. Now, finally, we're at Kingdom Hearts 3. Which is never going to come out. It's been way too fucking long. But there we go. From beginning to end, try to decipher the ramblings of a madman. That's Kingdom Hearts. Yep. Did you enjoy this video? If so, you can watch some more. Do you want me to be drunk and talk about other things? Like and comment, subscribe, I guess. Yeah. That's it.